Ladies and gentlemen, hand recount expected to end this week. Attention turns to ballot paper. Arizona Republic. This is an azcentral.com article. This is below in the description section. The hand recount of Maricopa County's ballots should end this week, while the inspection of paper itself will likely continue until the end of the month, a spokesperson for the state Senate ordered review said Tuesday. So this is actually written in I would say a responsible manner. The state Senate ordered a review. That's the epitome of democracy. It is the state Senate ordered review. It's right there. It says so right in the article. It's not somebody's sentiment. It's not a high to moderate confidence assessment from an intelligence service or intelligence chief. It's right there. Went through the state Senate and 2 judges. So I don't know that they say this is harming democracy. This is the epitome of democracy. It went through the state legislature. But here, as the process continues to unfold on the floor of Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix, the state also will provide up-close views to its visitors from across the country, said Ken Bennett, media liaison for the ballot review. On Tuesday, Alaska State Representative David Eastman and Georgia State Senators Brandon Beach and Burt Jones, all of whom are Republican, walked around the ballot inspection stations. Georgia Republican Party Chair David Schaefer also joined the walkthrough. Bennett said officials from other states have also contacted them, possibly including from Virginia and Wisconsin. As it stands, the review is closing in on completing perhaps the most basic element of the effort, recounting 2.1 million ballots cast in Arizona's most populous county. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Hit subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel. Check out the segments prior to this one pertaining to Hunter Biden and the despicable word he used. Again, since Democrats and media and the morally superior liberals and left-leaning voters, since they apparently set the rules and guidelines for society, is it appropriate? Is it okay? Is it acceptable to use apparently, when Democrats get caught with their pants down, oftentimes literally, it's just okay. The hypocrisy is unbelievable. Not only on the recount issue, because they spent 4 years complaining that or accusing Trump of working with Russia, but you would think that the president's son would have already been canceled. It would have been like the biggest uproar, but no, that would have been Donald Trump Jr. Could you imagine if Donald Trump Jr. or Eric Trump had stated what Hunter stated? But anyway, hit subscribe to this channel. I'll have a segment on H.A. Goodman's other channel right after this, so definitely hit subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel. The link is below in the pinned comment. Quote, I think the counting will be done by the end of this week, and then all the resources will shift to the paper evaluation, and that may still take most of the rest of this month. Beyond that, inspectors are examining the paper more critically. That is to determine whether, for example, the ballots used computer ink or, as expected, ink from pens. So they're really going at it. Once all the work is done, the review's findings will put together, Bennett said, adding that no recommendations on legislation or election administration has been made. So it's safe to say that they are working they're working to find discrepancies, and they will almost certainly find, because it is what Democrats don't get or what media doesn't get. It's 100% partisan recount. From Trump's perspective, because it's a partisan recount, that doesn't mean that the numbers won't be accurate. From the media and Democratic Party's perspective, well, there's no evidence of massive misconduct, so why are you even engaging in this endeavor? The rebuttal from Trump is, well, the recounts that state officials engaged in were conducted by people who wanted to simply confirm results that were originally achieved through less than stellar means, in his viewpoint. Okay, so that's where President Trump is that's what he's trying to convey, or that's where he's going with this. It's going to be very interesting. You now have not only Arizona, but you have Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. They said the article said Alaska, Virginia. So you have a whole bunch of states that simply don't trust the numbers because Democrats, media, CNN, years, claiming that Russia took the election away from Clinton, and then complain when President Trump says he doesn't trust the numbers, or he doesn't trust the official tally or count or sum or total. Okay, you like before 2016, you had media that really didn't care. And before 2016. You had like sports. There was a refuge. You could run away from politics. You could watch late night. Generally, you can watch a Hollywood movie. You could go on social media. Well, I mean, social media is always infused with politics, but sports, for example, you could go ahead and enjoy a sporting event or enjoy discussion on ESPN about sports without any kind of discussion about politics. There was never any discussion about politics in American society, in sports or in Hollywood or in any industry that entertains. Or you could go to. Now everything's politicized. You can't have a discussion with friends, especially if they disagree with you, without Trump, the Orange Menace, looming over you. It's like Democrats lost in 2016, and it affected who they were. Because when Trump defeated Clinton, it was confirmation that they don't control the future of the country, that their mentality is not the most rational or just or morally superior. And they couldn't come to terms with that. So they had an entire apparatus from media to Hollywood to social media to intelligence operatives fabricate a bunch of nonsense. And almost all of media was politicized. So whereas you had Tom Brokaw, Peter Jennings, David Brinkley, Walter Cronkite, you had decades of journalists that really didn't inject their own political opinions because they didn't care. They were really apolitical when it came to who won the election. Now you had Fox News changing things, but then they started CNN, MSNBC, or CNN became the Fox News of the left, as did MSNBC. Then the Washington Post and the New York Times became an extension, or maybe CNN is an extension of the Washington Post and New York Times, and they're all extensions of the Democratic Party. They're all saying the same things, and everything they're saying happens to correlate with Democratic Party talking points. That wasn't the case prior to 2016. It really wasn't the case. You would have stories, at least here and there, investigating what took place even in President Obama's administration. But this President Obama's second term, you saw a change. Anyway, the recounts are happening because Republicans simply don't trust the official numbers. They don't trust the official numbers in large part because Democrats sowed such discontent and distrust for the past 4 years. So you can't simply say, oh gosh, well, I wish things were back to normal. You have a highly politicized society now. There's no refuge from politics. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. It's in the pinned comment right now.